Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of The Fishing Teacher, and thank you very much for coming by and checking out the video today. It's always very grateful for that. And got a good one for you guys today. We're going to be talking about early season buzzbait fishing. Actually fishing a buzzbait before anyone else, thinks they're going to bite a buzzbait. Guys, there's a certain set of conditions where these fish, the big fish, will start biting the buzzer way before anybody's thrown it. We're coming up on the month of February, so I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to catch them and where you want to fish these buzzers at to take advantage of that. Also, guys, a quick reminder about we got just a few more days left in the January sale on my Solar Bat sunglasses, RB2 and RB3 series. If you guys are interested in getting a pair, you can get them at 25% off through the end of the month. And I'll put the Solar Bat link in the description if you guys want to pick up a pair. So much appreciated there. Okay guys, we're getting into February, late February, and March is my two favorite time a year to fish a buzzbait, a big buzzbait here. Probably 80% of what I consider big ones, like fish over 5 pounds that I've caught on a buzzbait over the last 50 years of fishing, have came in late February, March on a big black buzzbait. This is the Megabass Jamaican boa buzzer here. And also guys, I'll link this in the description on my Tackle Warehouse link if you guys want to pick you up one of these Megabass Jamaican boas. This is the bait that I do like to throw this time of year. But anyway, the whole thing about this, let me sort of give you the overview of it, why they bite it and why you want to use the big black buzzer. First of all, in late February and early March, occasionally you're going to get these abnormally warm late winter, early spring days. Let's say, for example, the part of country you live in, let's say late February to mid-March, say maybe your average daytime temperature is say 55, 60 degrees, something like that. If you get one of those days, like in late February or March, or maybe a day or two or three, where you got like some type of warm front moving in and the temperatures are maybe 5 to 10 degrees above normal, and with that you have maybe some overcast conditions and some south wind, and if you have that going on for like a couple days, that shallow water is going to warm up super quick in the shallow parts of the lake, like the back of the coves, the back of the creeks on some shallower banks. And since the fish are wanting to move shallow anyway because spring is on the way, those big fish are the first fish to move up into that shallow water. And guys, they get really shallow, and the bait that they bite is a buzzbait, a big black buzzbait. Not a little one, not a gold or chrome, but a big black one like this Jamaican boa here. Now, what you want to do with it, you've got to fish it in a certain way in order to get these fish to bite. It's like what I'll do with it is I put it on, pretty heavy line, usually like either 50-pound test braid or 25-pound test fluorocarbon, and I'll throw it out there in that shallow water, and I'll keep my rod tip high, and I'll just crank it just slow enough where these blades are above the water. It's like bloop, 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 bloop. It's just like, that's all I want. I want to reel it absolutely as slow as I can where the bait is still making some noise and staying on the top of the water. Occasionally it'll go under the water, I'll speed it up a little bit, and I just want to reel it just fast enough to where those blades are turning on the surface like that. In that colder water, that is what is required. And when these fish hit it in that early season shallow water like I'm talking about, you won't even really hear the strike. They come up and just sort of suck it in because they're not real aggressive like that. But the key, guys, is the heavy line and keeping that rod tip almost maybe 11 o'clock like this. That way your line is off the water and you can reel it slower and still keep that bait up a little bit higher. But guys, I'm telling you right now, this is a freaking killer right here. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put some type of maybe a chartreuse trailer on it against the black skirt. That seems like adds a little bit something to it. There's been a lot of tournaments won on that. I remember Rick Clunn won we were fishing a early March tournament down at Ross Barnett in Mississippi, and I remember Rick won that tournament on a black buzzer, and I've caught him everywhere on it. And it's something that a lot of people don't fish. And normally what you're going to have is like the water temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 50s. A lot of people think that when the water's in the low to mid 50s, that's a little bit too cool for top water, but not for these big black buzzbaits. They will come up and bite them. It's a real situational, real situation specific. If you get one of those days out there, like after a front comes through, you're not going to catch anything on it. If you get a day out there where, it's just average temperature out there and maybe the wind's blowing, out of the, it's sunny and the wind's blowing out of the west or something, just at 10 miles an hour, you're not going to do that good on it. But when you get a warming trend, if you get a couple days where it warms up, you better pull out a black buzzbait, because it's a great way to catch big ones, man. It really is. And ideally, I like water visibility sort of in that, maybe 1.5 to 2.5 foot range is ideal. 1.5 to 2.5, maybe 1.5 to 3 foot, something like that. But anyway, guys, give it a try. It's a good way to catch some good fish, and hope it works out, and we'll talk later.